What's going on everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. And in this video I'm going to be talking about monopolistic companies and how they are the best way to make money. So this video isn't going to be pre-planned, and I haven't put loads of bullet points and thought about it in too much detail. I'm kind of just going to go off the dome. So I want to talk about how when making money, people try and follow all these hype stocks and they end up losing, a load of money after a couple years because the hype dies down, and then they just crash because, the companies don't have any fundamental value. So with my personal investing method, and, I've been in the markets now for like 5 years, whether that be stocks and crypto. I don't invest in crypto anymore, but I have had, some experience dabbling in it. So this is going to be focused more towards stocks, but I guess the same kind of philosophy can be somewhat applied to crypto, but it's a bit harder to judge. So if you want to make money in the market, I genuinely feel like the best way to make money is to invest into monopolistic companies. Now, you don't want to be speculating and say, oh, by 2034, this company is going to be, the number one in this industry or the only one in this industry. So you don't want to be speculating. You want to be looking at, established companies and established businesses that already have a large majority of the market cap, if not all of the market cap in that one, kind of industry. Or just companies that are so unique that there's nothing that can even come close to it. A good example of this, in my opinion, is Google. The monopolistic search engine. They own YouTube. They're growing quickly in cloud. They're quite a diversified business, I guess. They generate a lot of cash, and there's no one who can really compete with Google. And the same thing with Uber, in terms of food delivery. I know there's a few other ones in America, like DoorDash and whatnot, but in terms of one company that is good at, food delivery services and transportation, Uber's kind of in its own sort of bubble, I guess you could say. You've got Lyft and Bolt and other similar ones, but in terms of the actual market cap that Uber, dominate, they're I think there must be over 50%. So, you want to look for these kind of companies. And then the second thing you want to look for is you want to look deeper into their fundamentals and see if they are intrinsically undervalued. So you can do this simply by, looking at the earnings and the PE ratio and the current growth of the company, and, how long they've been growing at that rate and previous growth and all these different kind of metrics and, future earning projections to some degree. Uber are expected to continue to grow at 20% year over year for, at least the next couple of years, which, is insane. And I feel like a lot of people have only even in the past week have kind of caught on to this. After earnings earlier this week, Uber stock dropped, and then it's up 15% since dropping. I actually brought the dip, luckily, because that's what I do. I already knew it was undervalued. I've been investing into it for probably a couple months now, and I have previously owned Uber in the past. But now I really understand the company and just truly how undervalued it is. And even at $74 a share, I generally think, we can still see 80, 90, maybe even $100 before the end of the year. Obviously, that's all just speculation, but I think just looking at them, a fair value would be about, $90. So when investing, rather than, trying to find a company that you just think is going to do well because there's a lot of hype around it, or even companies like Apple, if you look at their intrinsic value, it's trading at a 40-something PE ratio. And yeah, it is a one-on-one company, it's really hard to replicate what Apple have done, but it doesn't meet the second criteria of being intrinsically undervalued. So I'm probably waffling on a bit now, but all the point I wanted to make in this video is if you want to find companies that are, undervalued and, kind of in their own have no competition and sort of an industry of their own, then you want to look for monopolistic companies that look intrinsically undervalued. And in my opinion, that is the easiest way to make money. Again, not financial advice, I'm just speaking off the top of my head. If you enjoyed this video, follow my page, trying to hit 3,000 followers before the end of the month, and I'll see you in the next one.